and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. And I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. What we're going to take a look at here is the new Roku Streaming Stick Plus. The Plus is a new Wi-Fi amplifier that's built into the device that's going to increase your Wi-Fi power by 4 times. We'll take a look at what's inside, starting with the Roku Streaming Stick. This is about the thinnest Roku Streaming Stick I've seen yet. It's got the HDMI port on the end, and you're going to just plug that directly into your TV, and you don't need a cord. So that is helpful from a setup standpoint. It's going to come with a Roku book here. This is just a little setup manual. Nothing too extensive, but it pretty much gives you everything you need to know if this is something new to you. Shows you how to plug it in and just kind of takes you through the basic steps of putting the batteries into the remote. But that is a pretty simple booklet. The remote here is nice. You're going to notice it has a little spot here, a little hole. That is for the microphone. So that means that you can speak into it to do a search for anything. Well, not anything, but movies, TV shows, actors, things like that. Roku doesn't let you do things like ask for the weather or things like that. It's not running that kind of operating system. But for pure media searching, it's pretty solid. You've got some new starter buttons on this. There's the PlayStation View button is new to the Roku remote as far as I can remember. That means that you've got 3 services right here that are very, very cord cutter pushing. You've got Hulu, PlayStation View, and Sling. All of them offer live TV services, so that's cool. And Netflix. I can't remember a Roku remote that didn't have Netflix. You've got a home button here and a back button. The home button's always going to bring you back to the home screen. The back button will move back one place in a menu. You have your basic controls, up, down, left, right, and OK essentially acts as enter. Then you've got the microphone, the play, pause, rewind, fast forward, a quick replay, which usually gives you a replay with closed captions, and the button for the settings, which is the star along with the microphone button. When you want to use your microphone, you hold the button down and you say, show me Tom Hanks movies, or whatever you're looking for. Batteries go right here in the back, and they are included with the box. Final note, the volume on the side. The volume buttons control the volume on your TV, as long as you can program it to do so. It has a power button to do the same thing. You can turn the power on and off on your TV with the Roku remote, which is a real change from everything that they've put out in the past, except for this current generation, which includes the Roku Ultra. This is your power adapter. This is a USB cord used to extend the range of your power adapter. This is the actual power cord, and what you see here is the actual booster. This is what makes this 4 times more powerful than it ever was before. And that's really cool. It's built right in. It's not something you have to attach. So when you're ready to power the device up, you can just plug her in together like this. And then you plug the USB in from the USB side. And now your cord is ready. And you plug the rest together like that, and that is your power cord for your Roku. Finally, it does have the batteries for the remote. So that's what you get, and I think that is just, that's enough to get you started. Wouldn't hate to see an HDMI extender just for awkward fits, but I guess you got to get that separately.
All right, now we've got this all set up, and I'm just going to say from the start, one of the reasons that streaming sticks are very popular is people see them as a kind of in-between from the lowest end of a product to the higher end product. The lower end products are in their 30s, early, to 40s, the Roku Express models. On the other hand, the Roku Ultra is $100. So this runs for about $69. And the question is, do you get the same kind of value for your money as you do with the more expensive one? And the answer is yes. You definitely get your value for the money. It's not as powerful as the Roku Ultra, but it does give you a lot, and the Wi-Fi booster is super helpful. I don't have a way to test how well it works, unfortunately, because I don't have a huge house where I can test the limits. But what I did do is set this up, and we're going to take a look at some of the key things like live streaming, as well as the classics like Netflix. So we're going to start in and jump in with Netflix and just see how quickly it loads. You'll see that the screen loads fast, and we'll just load Mindhunter. Ba-bam! There you go. Real quick. The video looks just fine once it goes on, see? So, no complaints there. None at all. This also, as we showed you in the unboxing, has some quick launch videos buttons. So we're just going to launch Sling TV, live TV. We don't even have to choose it. We just press the button. It's going to launch into it. Of course, live TV streaming is a very, very important thing for people. So let's see if you just wanted to turn on the news real quick. There you go. That's not the news, that's IHOP, but you get the point. You can just launch on into a channel, and it will get you started. Looks like ESPN's taking a little bit longer. Keep in mind, everything to do with how fast things get going has to do with your Wi-Fi, and apparently my Wi-Fi is not performing very well today. So let's back out of that. But as with anything with streaming, you're going to have uneven results now and then. I've found that Sling TV usually performs pretty well. I'm going to try it one more time. Go to ESPN. Yep, there we go. There's a lesson learned. If something doesn't work the very right way the first time, just give it another shot. So we're going to get out of this. Another really popular app, of course, is Plex. That's an app that allows people to stream Plex channels. You can stream media that's been saved to a server. And we're going to jump in. And I like the Plex channels because it gives you like an alternative to Hulu for especially network content. So let's just pull this in. My wife's favorite show is Blackish. So go to season 4, which is the only thing available, and check out the first episode of the season. And it starts. So you see, this is a pretty fast system here. For your money, it's a very, very good value. Now I'm going to show you some things about the Roku streaming stick that you might not be aware of because maybe you're unfamiliar with the product in general. If you already know Roku, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to show the newbies a little bit about how Roku works. First of all, you have a way to search for anything you want to see via its search. They call it universal, and while it isn't totally, utterly universal, it features a bunch of their channels, a bunch of them, far more than any other service or product does. So let's just say you want to, I always try to look for something like Batman. So what it's doing here is it's giving you every single instance of Batman on any service that's available through the Roku. And where this is really helpful is that you can find out that a movie that might be available for rent in one place is available for free somewhere else. So if you have Hulu and Amazon, you want to watch the original Batman, or the 1989 Batman, it's available for free with Hulu. And you can launch right into it instead of having to search Hulu and say, does this have Batman? Then search Amazon and say, does this have Batman? You just find exactly what you're looking for. It shows you where you get it, and you can launch in and check it out. So we're back out of that. No reason to watch a commercial on Hulu. But that's really helpful. And you'll see that everything, like I said, everything available for this subject shows up. So we've got movies, TV shows. There's an animated movie. See just how far back it goes. Show more. Looks like there's a lot of different Batman things out there. Batman, Superman movie. So, that's just an example. But the thing is that you can look for subjects like that. You can look for, directors. You can look for, let's see. I'll just say King. See if Stephen King comes up. I don't think he's actually a director, but I'll bet it will find something with him. See if we find anything from Stephen King. No, it doesn't look like. So does he spell his name with a PH or a V? I cannot remember. Let's see. Stephen King's hot right now with It. There it is, Stephen King. What do you have for Stephen King? So again, you want some Stephen King-based movies? You got him. I forgot that he did Sleepwalkers. And again, you have the multiple choices for how you can get it. It's available on HBO Go, or you can rent it. Good old Maximum Overdrive. So, you can do that, like I said, with anything. You can look Charlton Heston, you can look for Tom Hanks, whatever you want. You go into that search, and you're going to find multiple ways to watch content, if it's out there, on a service that Roku has linked up with that system. And let me tell you, they really have a lot. Sometimes I find things on these little indies channels and stuff like that, and I'm shocked. Streaming channels here is what you would call the channel store. And of course, it calls it the channel store once you're in. I honestly think that Roku would do well to just call this the channel store instead of streaming channels. But, it's their product, their system. So I'll just let it go with that. But the channel store has a lot of stuff. It has thousands of channels. And they have it organized by genre. So if you want to find some music streaming thing, it's obvious that you look for it under music. Games on Roku are very, very basic. I mean, you can still have some fun. I like things like Connect 4 and things like that, puzzle games. But this isn't like a game system. You're not going to say, oh, well, I don't need a PlayStation now that I've got the Roku streaming stick. You'd be a little underwhelmed. But the channel store in general has lots and lots of stuff, and they're often tweaking it to try to make it a little bit more representative of what's in each category. So, the channel store is one of Roku's biggest strengths, and also in the channel store, you can also search for channels. You can search for channels in that universal search, but in the channel store, it keeps it all real basic. So, you look for, let's say, you just say sports. So what sports comes up. So there's everything with sports in the names. You can find them. And then you add the channel. And what it'll do is it puts any new channel down at the bottom of your listing. So we're here at the top. You go straight to the bottom, and there's Sports Illustrated. But if you want to change the setup of your screen, you can always do that. We showed you the star button. You press the star button, and you have these choices here. So if you want to move the channel up further so you can find it faster, there you go. Now you got Curiosity Stream right at the top of the page. If you decide that you don't like a channel, it's really easy to take it off. Like this one actually used to be useful. It doesn't really work anymore. It's to shut down a Roku, right? So let's say we want to remove it. We press the star button. We go to Remove Channel. And there we are. We have removed Crash. Now it is no longer there. So you see that Roku is kind of easy to customize without being cumbersome. On the section here with news and TV, what you have is AOL on video news. This is out there to give you kind of quick hitting stuff about what's happening in the news. A lot of it uses things like Newsy, so it's a lot of picture based with voiceover over top, but it's kind of a quick, easy way to catch up on what's trending, what's happening. They also include a TV store from Fandango, which lets you rent and or subscribe to seasons of shows. So, you want to watch The Walking Dead, you pull it up, and you can add a season to your watch list. You can also watch episodes. So, that is the TV section. So that, like I said, that's just a kind of a quick overview of what the sort of settings are like. I find that the menus are easy enough to follow. Like I said, when you press home, it always brings you back to this home screen. The settings are pretty explanatory, and something that I really like is that if you go into your key settings, right? Under your advanced system settings is where you would factory reset your Roku. And the thing is that you could easily choose factory reset if you're not paying attention and just blast your whole Roku. But in this case, if you want to do this and you click factory reset, you see it gives you a code that you have to enter in order to fully reset your Roku. That's actually a really cool security feature that I like. But in general, the settings will give you what you need. They are easy to get in and work with. And you shouldn't be too confused. It isn't like opening multiple folders in Windows or multiple settings tabs in an iOS device or something like that. They try to make it more simple than pretty much anything else I've dealt with. But last but not least, let's not ignore the voice search. Voice search works with the universal search. It can find content for you and even open apps. For instance, Pluto TV, one of my favorite apps on Roku. Of course, Pluto TV is actually available all over the place. Playback will start shortly, and bang. So you just opened it right up. If you've never seen Pluto TV, you should definitely check it out. Oh, that's violent. Okay. And we will just jump in and we're just going to look for content. Like I said, like Tom Hanks. There's not a Tom Hanks channel, but here's Tom Hanks. Here's tons and tons and tons of things featuring Tom Hanks. Again, multiple options. So that is the Roku streaming stick. Sets up pretty easy. You're gonna get all those channels that Roku always offers. Loads fast, and it's pretty easy to use. Like I said, with the quick launch buttons, with the easy to use search, the Roku Streaming Stick Plus offers you quite a bit. So check it out if you like. If you want to do an upgrade, should you upgrade from the 4K Roku Streaming Stick or the quad-core Roku Streaming Stick that came out more recently? If it's working for you right now, maybe not. I would recommend this as an upgrade over something like the Roku One or the original Roku Streaming Stick, because this packs a lot more power into it, and I think that you'll be pretty happy with it. Alright, I hope you found that helpful. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Please subscribe to our channel, and thank you to Chris Brass for producing. Stream on, my friends.